Hello and welcome back to Sid Meier's Civilization 5. My name is Michael Batman Guy, and today I have a fresh cup of tea. We have a fresh new mod added to the system, which is really going to help us planning things. You might see it over here, hint hint. And last time I left you off with a little teaser. Why might one want to build a city here? The game recommends building a city here because it provides access to a luxury resource. Those of you paying attention might realize the game is wrong. There is no... Well, okay, I guess, yes, it is in... These luxury resources are within the city radius. But usually when the game recommends a city location and it says has access to, or this location provides access to such and such, it's because it's right next door. The luxury resource right next door, you can't actually use because they're on impassable terrain. But let's say Central City and Gotham City grew to be, ridiculously sized metropolises, not to be confused with the metropolis. And they grew and filled their borders, and we worked all those tiles. You would be left with, from here, this little triangle, these here, here, and here. You'd be left with the Fountain of Youth, which in and of itself is not really a great working tile. Apparently electricity will actually give it +1. Oh, because it's by a river. Okay. So you can get an extra hammer out of just being by a river. Otherwise it produces faith because of my Pantheon. That's it. We've got some corn here, or sorry, maize, +1 food. This is rice, another +1 food. These are the advanced resources added to the game. We've got buffalo here. We have that jungle. That's jungle, yeah. And then more jungle and grassland. So not entirely terrible. You would not get much production. The best production would come out of this guy over here, the clay. But Kilimanjaro, food, culture, plenty of food. I guess you can get a production out of the buffalo, right? Or bison. Does this tile get production? Yeah, the camp will add 1 hammer. So it's not going to be producing a lot. But it will produce a lot of citizens, right? Because food is huge. And you can use that to get just about anything. So later on, I might consider filling this gap in. It wouldn't be completely useless. I think the benefit will outweigh the cost of having that extra city. Because it can get so much extra population. That's something we kind of broke in this map of Civ 5. Is usually the cost of more cities is, well, the city or puppeted city you own will increase technology cost by 2%. If you can get a ton of population in that city, you can produce enough science to overcome that. Social policy, similar. Each city increases the cost by 5%. I don't think it affects the faith at all. And gold, your buildings actually are gonna cost gold. So having lots of undeveloped cities, it's not going to affect your economy. But the main balance factor, if you will, is usually happiness. We have all the happiness ever. That's not a worry. Not a worry at all. So moving on from there, speaking of new cities, I added map labels. This is a simple little mod. You can add a menu there. It's listed on the menu toggle here. And this does 2 things. One, it will automatically produce natural labels. I think it looks a little better in the standard view here. To label things like rivers and forests and I think sometimes mountains. Let's see, did this mountain get named? No. This mountain? No? Okay, it didn't actually name any of the mountains. It's all kind of procedurally generated, if you will. Well, it's already generated. But it randomly assigns these names to various landmarks. It will also do battle sites, especially if you take over a city. It'll mark that, maybe like Battle of Bunker Hill or whatever. But you can also place your own landmarks and label your own tiles. It's a kind of like the opposite of city, where this is the city tile and the label is above it. So let me turn on the hex grid here. That might help a little bit. This is the one I've labeled, and so the label is below it. So it's a way to mark the map, and I've gone ahead and planned out some city locations, trying to minimize overlap, but the number one goal is to set them up for a future grid system to continue across the map. So yeah, there's a little bit of overlap here, definitely some with Atlantis, but to skip, I would have to skip like a lot of this for the next one to fit in with this guy. And he fits very well with Gotham. Down here, again, I'm gonna probably put one down here next to the Bosque de Mana. Yeah, because it takes my base civilization, Spain, and so it makes everything Spanish. These will be not, the whole world won't be Spanish named. Once we meet other civilizations, they'll have places nearby them that will be named accordingly. So that's kind of cool. It's a simple UI mod, so very easy to add and remove to a saved game. Did not cause any problems so far. I don't know. But let's get straight into it. We've got a settler to move straight to the site. There we go. And I believe I've already taken care of everything. Yep, map labels. Welcome to map labels. Toggle display and access the map panel for the map options. We can do that with Control-Shift-L, Control-Shift-A to add a new label, Control-A quickly add icon-only label. Okay, cool. Let's process those turns. Anytime now, barbarians. It's not that hard. I don't see any of you on the map, but they're thinking hard. Where are we gonna strike next? I don't know. Go bother somebody else. Kind of get everything going on at once here. So we researched archery. I don't know how that was. I researching? I was researching archery, wasn't I? I didn't bring down. Yeah, see, there it is. Researching archery. Success! And I don't hear the voiceover. I hear lots of bling bling in the background. Give him a chance here. Oh, all kinds of noises. What is going on? The game is carrying on without me. Alright, we're just gonna have to continue. We can build archers and Temple of Artemis. Forget the quote. You can read that on your own. Oh! We found more ruins where we can research more technology! Free stuff!
So
Calendar.
teach us to number our days so that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, this reveals apples and peaches. Ooh! More resources. Awesome. And of course we have lots of these things. Do we have any apples and peaches on the map? Yes we do. You thought this terrain was empty? You were wrong. Look. Apples and peaches. These are apparently luxury resources. Peach, sweet enough, maybe. I don't know. I really don't think of apple as a luxury. Maybe that's my Western culture privilege. But cocoa, I can definitely see that as an early. But this is just like a standard fruit. It's food. That's all it is. It's nothing fantastic, nothing special. I don't see early cultures waging war over apples, where I'm sure they would get in a fight about the coffee. That's worth fighting over. There's a bit of conflict here with some of these because two different mods add their versions of cocoa and coffee. I think maybe one of them is called cocoa and one is actually chocolate. But Civilization Advanced adds a coffee resource on the map, whereas I believe it's the Omnibus mod that adds coffee as a resource accessible after building the pyramids. You have to build a special building, which would be here in Gotham. The location of the pyramids. Of the double pyramid. Oh, hey, it's... Our old pyramid has been replaced. Alright, we got more things to build. After the Writers Guild, we can move on to Temple of Artemis. 10% growth in all cities. Heck yes. There's no question. Makes me extra glad I got the... Which one? The Writers Guild. Already. In addition to its standard bonuses, I can put specialists in here, which I might consider doing here in a moment. Because Temple of Artemis, definitely before Parthenon, and Stonehenge as well. We'll just queue those up like so. Anything worth buying? Probably. Go ahead and get a granary. And... You know, the tax collector is huge. This is definitely worth the investment. Herbalist. +1 food on forest. And +1 science. Not a big deal. We'll save our money for later. Okay, let's see. What can... Let's see, if we take that off, we're still looking at 2 to 3 turns for everything. Still 1 turn for citizen to grow. Good. Let's get a writer going. I want to push the specialist economy as much as possible, as early as possible. Who else? Central! Central, you have a library. Good. Good. Tax collector. And you know what, since you're going to finish that so quickly, go ahead and get an herbalist as well. And yep, still 1 and 2 turns, so you go to... Ooh. Still 1 turn. Signed citizen. Let's put you on something... Something shinier. We go like culture. There we go. New policy. Free stuff time? Free stuff time. Legalism, please. Free culture building. Yay! Alright, now everywhere has a monument somewhere. Monument for free. Monument for free. Yes, excellent. You can work the lake and build me something when you're done. Let's go granary tax collector to the library. Okay. Central. Oh, you've got another guy working there. Okay, that's cool. We'll take this one too. Perfect. More culture. Yeah, we need that. We need that new policy in 3 turns. Come on, guys. Let's go ahead and give you a not mine. Yeah, Solomon's Mines. King Solomon's Mines is a mine. And then you can also build the granary and tax collector after your library. Perfect. Atlantis. Atlantis, you need more citizens. That's what you need. So we'll leave you alone for now. And time to found our next city. We are going to call this one... one moment, what would be a good one here? Uh-oh. List? Come on, load, please. So we did Atlantis, we did Central, we already did Bloodhaven. Kind of got everything order. I don't... Until I have a reason to do otherwise, I'm just going to go down the list as it's presented to me here on the DC Wikia category cities page. So this is Opal City. Except, I wish this was one that had access to like gems or something, but I'm not gonna be picky at this point. This would provide faith. Faith is good, or we can take that. More food! Yay, food! Lots and lots of food. And town square. Do we have them actually build this one? No, we buy it. We buy the Potter. We buy the sewer. We buy the cistern. This is just going to be the standard city starting package, if you will. And I'm going to start you on a library. Yeah, I think you can still finish that before I really need it. When do I need everybody to have libraries? That will not be until education, right? Oxford University must have a university. No, what's the one that they need? Library in all cities. National College, that's the one. Yeah, okay. We still need to get philosophy, which is at least 7 turns away. And I'm going to be working on... Well, actually, I need to choose what I'm going to be working on. Wheel. I want roads. These city connections. We've already got 12 and 8 citizens. Super profitable city connections. Definitely want those up ASAP. You, my warrior friend, you can head down here and do some fog busting for me. You go that way. You go there. And found another city. Hey, alright. We'll call this one. Select next on the list. Gotham Metropolis Opal, Atlantis Bloodhaven Central, Hub City! Sure, why not? Hub City. Accept. Okay, ooh, this is something I didn't do in Opal. Production focus, please. Thank you. Production focus. But we're gonna put you in... this guy. Yes. Great Barrier Reef. Once we get the one with nature over here, I think we can have all of those. The only contention is the undersea mines and the aqua farms are mutually exclusive. Otherwise, you add a lighthouse, you add a smokehouse, you add a seaport. This tile is going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Buy the town square, buy the sewer, the Potter, and the cistern. Start building a library. And I think that is all well and good. Look at this. 110. 110 science per turn on turn 14. It's amazing. Simply amazing. You actually... Oh, you can. Yes. Thank you, Hill. Haha. Go to one of my nearby cities. Scroll up to see what... Discovered a source of apples that look like iron. It's kind of weird. Okay, we'll have to go through all the population. I don't know where this... Oh, he went to Opal, clearly. You have a new citizen. We go Golden Science. Do we go all the way for the Uluru for even more food? I think we should. That's definitely the most efficient use of our resources at the moment. Now, the reason you might be thinking to yourself, speaking of efficient uses of resources, shouldn't you be buying more things in the city? You have gobs of money that what else are you going to use it for? I mentioned briefly, I think at the very beginning, and I'm going to reiterate it now, I'm not buying everything in every city too soon because we're going to have a lot of cities. Yeah, that's obviously the best place to go. Come on. And they're all going to need a town square and a sewer and a Potter and a cistern and a library. And, ooh, the other thing, workers. Give everybody a worker. Hub City needs a worker. Opal needs a worker. Atlantis has a worker. Bloodhaven has a worker. And you guys are fine. Since I now have more than enough unit supply. Oh my gosh, we're ready for another wave of scouts and settlers to send out of here. Speaking of which, Auto Explorer. And you are already on spot. I didn't put a marker on here because, well, I'm just gonna settle it and be done. Bit of overlap here, that's okay. Tile belongs to another city. That's fine. We're gonna go over here and work. Is that Kilimanjaro? Mount Kilimanjaro, yeah. And tell you production focus by Potter. And a sewer. And a town square. You can see how massively overpowered the town square is because every single advisor tells you to build one. Cistern. And what else? Yeah, that's the 4. Build library by worker.